Hello there and welcome back. This is Cassie. I am back with a blog hop video today. This is for the Brutus Monroe blog hop and our challenge was TV movies. So I'll get into that in a minute, but I'm going to start off by using a heart die. This is just a heart die I have in my stash and I'm running that through my Big Shot over some red cardstock. And I have a piece of very light gray cardstock that's going to be my card base, and I've cut that down to 5.5 by 8.5 inches, and I'm going to score that at 4.25 inches to make it a side folding A2 size card. And then I'm going to move on to thinking about my stamping. I have the Brutus Monroe Special Day stamp, and I'm going to stamp that onto some, it's kind of like a sparkle paper I have. I'm going to be honest with you, I got it probably 17 years ago. I have had it for forever. And I'm going to put this into my MISTI and I'm going to stamp out that beautiful wedding dress with my Raven detail ink. I'm stamping that there. I love this dress. This dress is so elegant and beautiful. And even though I don't know a lot of people getting married, you could use this stamp for other things. You could cut off the trail, or you could cut it or color it like a prom dress. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a wedding dress, but oh my goodness, is that dress not absolutely gorgeous? So I'm cleaning that off, and then I am going to put my paper and my heart back into the MISTI because I plan to do some stamping on the front of it. I want to pop up my dress, and because of the way I'm going to cut it out, if there's any little pieces that are on the side, because this is a detailed stamp, it does have some really beautiful detail on the edges, and I will end up kind of cutting those off of my white piece. I am stamping that onto the front of my card. So let me tell you what show I chose. A guilty pleasure of mine is Married at First Sight. I don't know why. I love that show. It's a bit of a train wreck. And the percentage of actual marriages that have worked out on that show is, I think, dwindling with each season. At one point it was 20%, but I think that's gone down even more now. So, yeah. So check it out. If you like train wrecks and reality television, Married at First Sight is a winner. Moving on to how I stamped. So I did stamp on the heart, and there was a little bit left over right on my MISTI, but what I had done, just a little tip, is I went ahead and laminated my Sweet Petunia paper. So there's just a little trick for you. If you laminate those, you can always clean that off and you don't have to go through those papers. Now I'm fussy cutting the dress out. As you can see, I stamped onto the card base and I stamped onto the heart. And the reason that was necessary is because I'm not cutting out the hanger. And so I'll overlap my heart, or overlap the heart over the base of the dress. And I'm just using my Brutus Monroe craft glue. I'll glue that heart down. And then I'm going to cover my dress itself with foam tape on the back. I did use a black marker to go along the edge of my dress, all along the outside edge there. So that way you didn't see any white edge line if you looked at the side. And then I'll tack my dress down. It needed a little more, so I grabbed some black Glitterstock, and then I'm going to just use that same craft glue to tack down one little strip of that right along the edge of my card. And then I'm going to take some vellum. This is the heat resistant vellum from Brutus Monroe. I'm going to use my magic powder bag over the edge of that, ink up my stamp with the embossing ink, and then I'm going to cover that with the mic drop embossing powder. This stuff is so pretty, has a little bit of sparkle to it, a little glitter, and then I'm going to heat set that till that is smooth and melted. And it's really easy on this heat resistant vellum, so I mean it melts quickly, but I haven't had any issues with any sort of burning of the vellum. All right, now I'm trying to figure out where to put my sentiment, and where I decide, I pull out the glue pad or the glue sponge. So that's new to me, and I've been storing it upside down, so it's fairly juicy now, and learned a little trick here. So I got it pretty inked or pretty glued up, and then because I let go of the edge, it all curled up. It ends up being fine, but I was kind of panicked, like, oh no, I'm going to have to redo that whole panel. So note to self, don't let go. because the glue sponge actually worked pretty nicely for this. I had wanted to use my Xyron sticker maker, but I'm completely out of the sticker, and so budget says I can't get any more right now. So I'm inking my stamp up one more time, but I'm using the embossing ink, which is also a watermark ink, so it's very faint on the inside. And then as a final bit of embellishment, I do use my Jelly Roll Clear Star pen just all along the edge of the circle, or the heart. And all I'm doing is like a squiggly line and a couple of dots here and there, and I variate how long the line is. And you'll get to see as I put it up close up. So take a look at that. It's just nothing crazy. But that's going to end up finishing off this card. So if you like this card, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and be sure to head to my blog because you're going to want to check out what everybody else did. There are some very clever cards in there, and I will have all that listed down below along with all the things that I used listed down below. So as always, guys, thank you so much for stopping by.